my son. The day you were born, the very forests of Lordaeron whispered the name Arthas. Child, I watched with pride as you grew into a weapon of righteousness. Remember, our line has always ruled with wisdom and strength. And I know you will show restraint when exercising your great power. Victory, my son, is stirring the hearts of your people. I tell you this, for when my days have come to an end, you shall be king.
Welcome to maybe the greatest phase of World of Warcraft, when everybody liked playing the game. Oh, what's this? Welcome to World of War. Yes, except we've done that before. I'll load anyway. Oh, I already have... Alright! Back when I started playing Classic, I actually made 2 characters. Well, now we're going to play Death Knight. No, not Change Realm. Realm name, Mograine. Logging into game server. Is it? Oh, it's a PvP server. I played on a oh, I went to a PvP server. It's full actually. A good thing. Oh, does that mean can we create a new character? I hope so. That would be problematic. Death Knight. So I'm not sure if we should play Alliance or Horde. So, Wrath of the Lich King, maybe the greatest phase of World of Warcraft. It was the beginning of the Dungeon Finder era, when realms became more anonymous, when the structure of you had a responsibility on the server and reputation, and a rigid guild system where if someone became an asshole, you went to his guild master and told him, and then this person that was an asshole would get in trouble. So people were less troll-ish, less unfriendly, because there were actual consequences because of your actions. And then everything became a bit more anonymous, and World of Warcraft slowly dwindled down into the abyss, and now we can play again. I'm not going to play Classic. since there are many people who say Classic was awesome, and I agree, but it's not the game, it was the community. Yeah. I played Wrath of the Lich King on private servers, and it's nice to try to reminisce on the past, but the game mechanics are ancient, the boss fights are lame, PvP is lame, and it's just... yeah. There are a lot of quality of life things in modern World of Warcraft that I just enjoy more. So I don't actually miss Wrath of the Lich King in terms of content, I miss the community. I miss people taking responsibility for their actions, trying to create one awesome server community where everyone tries to be nice and helps each other, and you have fun and adventures. So when I say that Wrath of the Lich King was the greatest phase, I mean the community was at its greatest, not necessarily the game. And since I'm usually playing Horde, this time we're going for Alliance. We're going to play a classic Alliance experience. We're going for Human Death Knight. Yeah. So, Death Knight. If you have no idea what World of Warcraft is about. So, originally there were two continents, the Eastern Kingdom and Kalimdor. And there was a classic conflict between the Alliance, the humans, the dwarves, the Night Elves, the Gnomes, and the Draenor, even though they came later, against the Horde. The Orcs, Undead, Tauren, Trolls, and Blood Elves. And these have fought. And slowly, with Thrall, an Orc shaman, later chieftain, war chief, he made sure that the Orcs, who previously lived under the yoke of humanity, as slaves basically, in the Eastern Kingdom, that they found a new home. And you can actually play this beautiful story in the game Warcraft III, when a certain prophet, Medivh, comes to Thrall in his dreams and tells him that he, if he wants to save everyone, needs to sail west to Kalimdor, and there the Horde was made. And later on, there came a third continent, Northrend, and this is the content of Wrath of the Lich King. The Lich King is some sort of uber evil sorcerer who controls the dead, a bit like in Game of Thrones, and he can corrupt people after death. That is a Death Knight. A Death Knight is a normal human that died and was resurrected by the Lich King, and now he is to fulfill his wishes. And this is the starting area of the Death Knights. And why do I play this? Blizzard has an event, if completed until the 28th of November 2022. If you complete the Death Knight prologue, then you get a nice mount for the main retail game, so we're going to do it. And we're going skin... I don't care about any of that. We can just randomize. What's up? That doesn't look very human-ish. Oh, Blood Elf. Yeah, that's a problem. You know what? That doesn't look bad, even though I'm not sure if I like the hair color. Also, this is the classic experience. If you compare this to a couple episodes earlier when we created our new draconic character, I mean, you can see that something's changed. What do I go with here? Why not? This is us. We're going to call ourselves Uther. I'm pretty sure that this name has already been taken, but we'll see. Yeah, of course that is unavailable. How about we go with Uther? And accept. Oh, okay, yeah, the commute, of course. How we go Uther? Name is... seriously? Oh my goodness, there are too many people playing Classic. Okay, next try Uther. Hey, that works! It worked! Alright, let's... And in the prologue, I'm not trying to spoiler you too hard, but we're going to awaken as a Death Knight. We're going to meet the Lich King, and then, well... I'm not going to tell you what happens.
A hero. That's what you once were. you stood boldly against the shadow and purchased another dawn for the world with your life. But the evil you fought is not so easily banished. The victory you claimed, not so easily held. For now, the specter of death looms above the world yet again, and it has found new champions to bring about its final reign. Knights of darkness, wielding runes of death and destruction, bound by the will of the Lich King. This is the hour of their ascension. This is the hour of your dark rebirth.
Okay, welcome to World of Warcraft. When you encounter something new, a help button will appear in the blah 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 blah. Okay. So these are banshees, well, Valkyrie battle maidens. A bit like in the, well, northern religions, Odin and all, the Valkyries, that if you die on the battlefield, they will take you. And obviously the Lich King corrupted them. There is, in the World of Warcraft universe, there's actually Valhalla and Odin and all of that. And then there's the Lich King, and he kind of corrupted this whole Valkyrie system. Oh my goodness, the trade chat looking for more Tengnax Ramas 10. No! I was a raid lead. I raided with several characters back in the days. And I was a raid lead of a guild. Well, co-raid lead, to be more precise. So I was basically responsible for making sure the group was full. And in-game, whatever, commands when the boss fight ensured. And often I spend hours in the trade chat looking for more ICC Lich King 24 man, because we were about 25 or 26 people, and 2 or 3 usually never made it. So we always had to find a couple randoms. Looking for the experience of the trade chat. Okay, well, they're not using the trade chat. They're using the looking for group chat. Back in the days, we just all used the trade chat because that was back in the days. The trade chat was the only chat that, if you were in a bigger city, that everyone was connected to the trade chat in all cities of the same faction. At once. So if I wrote in the trade chat in Orgrimmar, someone in Undercity or wherever, he could read what I write. That was why always people spam the trade chat. Oh, looking for more OS2D. I have no idea what that is. 3.7k GS. Gear score. My gears. Oh, look at that. Oh, the gear score. Give me another second. I'd like to have... can we get our... add-ons? Oh, right. Elf UI, only loadable on demand. Why can't enable load out-of-date mods? I'm going to log out for another second. Why do I not have the Elf UI? I mean, we don't necessarily need any add-ons anyway. Obviously, I would have to reinstall them here. I mean, this is not classic, not loading. This is classic, are you kidding? This is classic! What are you talking about? Okay, disable. Ignore. Alright, the Lich... oh my goodness, the Lich King. Arthur's Menethil. And this whole story that revolves about the Lich King is about this here. I mean, if you watched Shadowlands, you will have noticed that Sylvanas took the crown and smashed it apart. But back in the days, what was most important is the crown, the rest is just whatever. And there's obviously a the rune blade.
Your will is not your own. Vengeance I bestow upon you, my chosen knight. I have granted you immortality, so that you may herald in a new, dark age for the Scourge. Gaze now upon the lands below us. The Scarlet Crusade scurries to undo my work, while Light's hope stands defiantly against us, a blemish upon these plague lands. They must all be shown the price of their defiance. You retribution. Where you tread, doom will follow. Go now and claim your destiny, Death Knight.
Alright, so that was a bit buggy. It automatically accepted the quest. I didn't want to do that, so I'm definitely going to deactivate. Oh, that's the problem. The autopilot. Yeah, I don't like you. Go away. Bother. Have someone else. That's the autopilot that helps you to get through questing as fast as possible. I don't want that. I want to read the quests. I mean, Arthur's already talked about a lot. So we're going to read the quest text, and then we're going to follow the Lich King's wishes. This is obviously Flying Citadel for the Undead, and below is the Scarlet Crusade. That's, you could say that's a bit like, it's a human crusade. And then obviously they don't like the undead, so there's a bit of a problem there. In service of the Lich King, we report to Instructor Razuvius in the heart of Archerus. The heart of Archerus, that's obviously this construct here. Archerus the Ebon Hold, that's it called. All that I am, anger, cruelty, vengeance, I bestow upon you, this is obviously Arthur speaking. Upon you, my chosen knight, I have granted you immortality so that you may herald in and read the text that already spoke. I mean, in other words. Yes, Scarlet Crusade, for the retribution, claim your destiny, alright. Tuaria. Yeah, usually when a couple people report her for that name or him, Blizzard GMs will change the name, but whatever. You have heard the call of the Lich King, Death Knight. Now is the time to answer your master. The single most important piece of equipment to a Death Knight is the Rune Blade. It is through the Rune Blade that a Death Knight commands the powers of Frost, Blood, and the Unholy. The Rune Blade also acts as a vessel to store the Death Knight's runic power. The time has come to create your first Rune Blade. Search the weapon racks on this floor and locate a battle-worn sword. Once found, take the sword to a nearby rune forge and use it to create a Rune Blade. 16,000 experience. That's a lot. Search the weapon racks in Ebon Hold for a battle-worn sword, and then use it on a rune forge to craft a rune-bladed sword. Okay, where are the weapon racks? Ah, there you are. Look at the names of the abilities. We have Death Grip, Icy Touch, Plague Strike, Blood Strike, Death Coil, and the Will to Survive. I mean, considering that we're already dead and now we are undead, I'm not sure if survival is really the point of it, but whatever. The Rune Blade is an extension of your being. A Death Knight cannot battle without a Rune Blade. Well done, Uther. You have successfully created your first rune-bladed weapon. With it, you will sow the seeds of chaos and destruction. In your wake will be a bloodied field of battle, littered with the corpses of all that would dare oppose the Scourge. The Scourge, that's a kind of faction of the evil undead by Arthas. Please don't walk away. The mark of war is etched indelibly upon your soul, Death Knight. You have learned the dark art of rune forging, and with it you will engrave runes of power upon your weaponry. Preparations for battle must be made. Return to one of the rune forges here in the heart of Arcaros, and use, or Archeros, whatever, and use the power of rune forging to emblazon your weapon with the rune of power. Return to me when your blade glows with dark energy. Probably means we have to make a choice now. So there are 3 kind of talent systems, class systems. There is Blood and Unholy, both are damage specs, and there is Frost. Frost is a tank spec. So obviously if you're a tank, you're going to tank a boss or an enemy. And if you're a DD, a damage dealer, you're going to deal damage. And I'm not sure if it might be the wisest idea to go for Frost for leveling, but I'm not sure of that. I do believe to remember that Blood or Unholy is better for leveling. It doesn't really matter. We're going to do it either way. Where Weapon Emblazoned. Do I have to go? That's a rune forge. Okay, equip. Weapon Emblazoned. Your rune forging ability, engrave a rune upon your rune. Where is the rune forging ability? Where do I get that? Blood Strike, Plague Strike. Is that an ability? First aid, weapon, rune forging. Ah, yes. What's this? Rune of. I remember that I played the initial prologue and I maxed out a Death Knight on my first account, but then I never played it because I was a Warlock main and Mage main, so... I mean, it's kind of ridiculous to say that I mained 2, but I actually raided with 2, and I kind of mained 2 characters. Rune of Cinder Glacier. Fixes your rune weapon with a rune that has a chance to increase the damage by 20% for your next 2 attacks that deal frost or shadow damage. Or it fixes your weapon with a rune that causes 2% extra weapon damage as frost damage and increases your... yeah, we're going with 20% more damage. The Rune of Cinder Glacier. Remember these words, Death Knight. The Rune Forge is a scourge instrument. It exists only in Archeros, Naxxramas, and the heart of Icecrown. You may only emblazon your weaponry at a Rune Forge. Return often and emblazon all of your weapons. A Death Knight must be prepared for all that would dare oppose him. No, wait, why are you walking away? Stop walking away. Stop it, stop it! The endless hunger will soon take hold of you, Death Knight. When it does, you will feel pain immeasurable. There is only one remedy for the suffering. The hunger must be sated. I give you the key to your salvation. Chained to the heart of Archeros are those deemed unworthy of the Dark Brotherhood. Use the key to free an unworthy initiate. Allow them to equip their gear and battle you for their freedom. Kill, and the pain will cease. Fail, and suffer for all eternity. Live or die. The choice is yours to make. That's finite. How do I choose? Hello? Okay, I need to use this quest item.
I need to get closer. It's too far away. I can't attack that target. That's
Death Coil. Fires a blast of unholy energy, causing shadow damage to an enemy. Or healing damage from a friendly undead. Right. I remember Warcraft 3, you could either damage the enemy or take one of your units and heal yourself. As expected, my chosen knight has triumphed. You are ready, Uther. Behold Archerus, the grand citadel of death. It has no equal in this world. Not even the mighty Naxxramas could withstand a direct assault from the Ebon Hold. Looming above the face of the necropolis is the all-seeing eye of Archerus. From it, the Master is able to see great distances in the territories held by our enemies. What the eye sees, the Lich King sees, and now the time has come for you to peer through the eye. The Lich King has called for you, Uther. Go now, suffer well, brother. Oh dear, the Lich King wants to talk to us. These bad boys in Warcraft 3 were glorious. You just had to build a couple of them. A couple spiders and a couple these undead catapults, and you could basically obliterate any enemy. I mean, Nerubians, not spiders.
All life must end.
The time to spill the blood of our enemies approaches. You must first learn what it is that you seek to destroy, before rushing headlong into battle. Obviously, if you don't realize that, the Lich King was the final boss of the Wrath of the Lich King expansion. So whenever World of Warcraft gets an expansion, you have a previous starting raid, and then after a couple months you usually get a second raid, and that kind of finishes the half-life time of the add-on of the expansion. And then towards the end you're going to get the last raid that kind of culminates this red dot, this storyline that the add-on created, and obviously he will be the final boss to defeat. And funny thing, when ICC Icecrown Citadel, the final raid in Lord of the Lich King was released, and there was obviously a match between the biggest, most powerful guilds, who gets the world first, so the first kill of Arthas on heroic 25 man. And there was a group, and they found an exploit. There were Saronite bombs that could be used to damage Arthas. They are extremely expensive, but they didn't care, so they bought a shitload of the bombs, and then they skipped a phase. So they smashed dozens of bombs at him, and that did so much damage that this battle was much easier, and they got the world first. But, of course, since it's usually the case, they live streamed their battle, and then Blizzard went ahead and said, "That is exploit! You're not having the world first, we're going to ban all of you!" And that was a bit of a shit fest. And then there was a lot of talk in the community, should they be banned? Should they be permanently banned? No. Timely banned, temporarily banned, sure. Maybe. So that was kind of interesting to see. There was a full world first, and then everything went to shit, and everybody hated upon Blizzard for a nanosecond, and oh dearly. Alright, so time to spill the blood of our enemies. Death comes from on high. Towering above this platform is the Eye of Archerus. By the way, this is how I learned English, basically. I mean, I'm not a native English speaker, you might have noticed, because my English skills are not that adequate. And when I was a child, I played video games. And through TeamSpeak, through in-game chats with other people, I started to learn English. You have to think about, there's a European, maybe a French, a German, an Italian, US kid, a Chinese, a Russian. All of these kids are together on a Minecraft server or World of Warcraft server, whatever. And you need to communicate. But nobody speaks a similar language. So, obviously, we kind of automatically reverted to English because it's just, well, it's lingua franca, basically. So, I kind of learned English through playing games. And at some point, I changed my native language in World of Warcraft to English. And I read all of these quest texts, and that kind of super speeded up my knowledge of the English language. So, playing games can have great value for your education because I liked it. You see, sure, there are better, more educational ways to teach a child a language, but you have to make sure that the child is actually interested in reading, is interested in playing. I mean, I liked the game, so I played the game and I learned the language in the process. I mean, obviously it's not only World of Warcraft, but it was one of the steps that I took, and I'd say it kind of helped me. So if you have a child and you have problems getting your child to learn something, a language for example, try to incorporate in the process of learning a game that your child will like. So your child has an incentive to play the game, but then he needs to deal with the language. So do this, for example. Say, okay, yeah, for example, if you're a Frenchman and you have a French kid, yes, okay, you can play World of Warcraft or whatever, but you're going to play in English. I mean, I'm not sure if it's a good idea to force your child to do that, because I did it voluntarily. I wanted to do it, because I wanted to improve upon my skills and able to talk better to my friends that I made on the web, because they obviously didn't speak my language. But all in all, always try to incorporate, if you want to educate a child, that which is necessary with something that is fun. If you're going to force your child to do something, go read this book, you need to learn English, and the book is about something that the child won't care about, it will not work. So you need to make sure that your kid will have fun. That's very important. Alright. From it, you will call forth the next episode.